A shout out to our podcast sponsor, sportsponsorship.co.uk. If you or your business are interested in making a real difference to the Scottish game, supporting hundreds of kids into regular football, get in touch with sportsponsorship.co.uk and they'll find the right fit for your brand. Hello and welcome to episode 36 of Tinpot, a Scottish football podcast providing you, the listener, with an alternative view on all things Scottish football. As you can tell from my mumbling tone, I am not the one and only Tom Leask. He is on his holly bobs, travelling around Malta, I believe, with his good lady Herndors. Which is me, and fear not, I'm not alone. I'm joined by semi-regular guest Andrew. I'm keeping up my.
I'll take that.
I'm keeping up my record as the only person to appear on every single episode. This guy likes to go and see comedy gigs on a Thursday or whenever now, but maybe he's got more time that we're only doing one a week at the moment, so he can do more things on a Thursday. How you doing, Andrew?
I'm alright. You were almost a one-man show. I was just on my way up the stairs with a kid to do the podcast, and then she spewed all down my back and all down the stairs. So the quickest clean-up mission ever to try and make it here and not leave Matthew hanging for too long. So don't actually know what would be better. It'd probably be better a one-man show than have me here. At least you'd win the quiz that way.
It'd be me doing a TED talk on the various protein ways you can get your protein in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
the hour of me
90% protein chat and 10% football.
Yeah, quizzing myself. Oh, well done, Matthew. That's 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matthew.
It's a new Tinpot record.
No, you were actually rapid because you texted me at like 25 past, and I was like, I've got plenty of time. I was even considering going to have a little lie down on my bed, but then I was just like dicking about, and up you popped. I was like, fucking hell, this boy's an expert clearly at the old clean-up.
Yeah, it was a military operation, that one.
Got any special tips, Andrew? Any tricks of the trade?
I think biggest tip is just to try and absorb it with your body. So use my body as a sort of exactly, as to shield the floor, and then went down the stairs where there's no carpet, you see, and then it was just a nice easy clean up mission. That so it's just the joys of having a toddler, like just.
I've been spewed on once by my son, and then it was when I had him. My wife was away on holiday with her friends, and I had him by myself. And before he went to his bed, he had like lots of chips. Clearly, he never chewed them properly because, like, in the middle of the night, he just spews all over the bed, like chips, just pure chunks of chips. Second time, I picked him up. Oh, you okay, son? You okay? But all over me, just pure chips. It's just. Yeah,
I've had quite a few spews in my time. So
straight in the wash machine, all this stuff, right? Is it boom?
Oh, straight in, yeah, that's it.
The thing is,
wash.
I'm sorry, listeners, we're going to delve into parent chat. We're not fucking Rob Beckett and the ginger one, are we? But I've dealt with so much like shit in my life, like that doesn't bother me. But, like spew still gets me
100%.
like spew just still gets me going.
Really?
Yeah, I don't mind shit. Any shit doesn't bother me, but smell of spew, I'm just like, I just so not used to it because.
Yeah.
Luckily,
I'm immune to both.
Yeah, you're immune
to
both.
Like any
sort of.
It's
good enough for me to be immune to it, but they've done like some of the worst poos I've ever seen in my life. So I think I'm just like bring anything on now.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's not a bad thing if you've not had loads of spew on you.
The thing is, the poo is usually contained to a nappy, whereas the spew can be anywhere at any time, sort of thing. Eh?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. You got to be well versed in containing it, because can easy ruin your house. That you get it up the walls or something.
Up the walls.
Case closed.
That's grim.
Burn the house down. That's the way.
But from one disgusting.
Apart from that. Yeah, from one.
I was going to quickly discuss my protein this week.
I was just about to ask you about it.
We had a comment on Comment Corner from our friend, is it the Stew Rat?
Legend, yeah.
Yeah, he said cottage cheese looks like something that would be spit up by my wee son, which is fair play. That's true.
Right on topic.
Can't argue that. It does have chunks in it for some reason. I keep mixing it, right? The chunks just remain. I was like, why does the chunks of cottage cheese not become smooth? But alas,
could you blend it?
Can't be fucked with that, mate. I'll just fucking go with the spoon for. I had it with some yogurt. It was fine. My wife likes it. Like she's fucking likes it with radishes on toast. I'm just like, that's weird. Like,
radishes?
Yeah. She's more a savoury cottage cheese, and I'm more of a sweet cottage cheese man myself. Cottage cheeseman.
I'm straddling both there, I'd say. I like a wee bit of cottage cheese with pineapple.
Oh, that's kind of sweet.
It's nice.
Yeah. I saw a recipe on Instagram for like protein cookie dough in inverted commas, where you like make a protein yogurt and with peanut butter, and then you put it in your freezer apparently for 10 fucking minutes. So I'm like, oh, this will be really nice. Fucking did it, put it in the freezer for 10 minutes, come out, it's just fucking yogurt. It's like a little bit cold. It did not freeze.
Surely nothing happens if you put anything in the freezer for 10 minutes.
Fucking, honestly, these Instagram recipes are just all bullshit. They must just be all shite. Like these protein, why eat this like delicious cake when you can make this really shit protein pudding that tastes exactly the same? No, it doesn't. It never tastes good. They all taste shit. It's a fact. Let's just accept it. They're all shit.
True. My wife's obsessed with them. Like she'll like do all of them because it's like, you know, as you said, no sugar, healthy, like especially stuff for the kid, and it's a total like 50-50. Like it's either tastes pretty good or it's like fucking dreadful. But yeah, we're way past the stage of trying to appease like a bad recipe. It's like if it's bad, it's bad. Like that's it. I'm not even gonna pretend. But I mean, at least she tries it. I mean, I don't even bother. I just cook the same shit all the time. So
plain chicken, is that you're still on your diet of?
Yeah, I mean, my diet's really boring at the moment still. But
speaking of the gallstones, the Stuart again. This guy's on fire. He said call the gallstones. Because we were discussing it last week about what Andrew should call his enlarged gallstones. He said McCoist and Hately. So there you go.
That's nice. I like that. I like that. I'll maybe go subtle and go Ali and Mark, and then obviously still credit to Stu for that, but might do that and then just see if the doctors, you know, ask a question. But
and then
probably not. To be fair, they'll just be like, yeah, this guy's fucking weird.
Keep sending in your suggestions, and the winning suggestion can get the stones as a prize. We'll send them in a wee pickle jar. And you can put them on your mantelpiece. Be a nice prize. Speaking of prizes, Andrew, did anyone ever get those brioche buns that were promised to us by our former host? No.
What happened was,
did you win or did he win?
Tam fixed it. Obviously,
he won. Yeah,
and
there were no rules,
and so he won it, and then didn't have to hand them out. I think so. Which is a real shame because obviously Nooch Bar and Kitchen, great sponsor. And very supportive of the podcast, which we're very grateful of. But it looks like Tam's, cooking the books a little bit with the bread rolls, or not the bread rolls, the potato rolls. So real shame. It's got two honest guys on the pod here, but then you've got one guy that's just obviously hoarding all the goods for himself. So
yeah, get commenting listeners if you want Tam to admit his crime and decide who should get the rolls, me or Andrew, because this guy's clearly a liar. And Nooch, give us those rolls, please, because I love Nooch's rolls. Genuinely, some of the best burgers I've had I've been at Nooch, vegan burgers. The way that guy crafts the vegetables, the mushrooms or the tofu. For me, it's all about the bun, that sweet bouncy potato bun. That's why I was really excited. Unfortunately for me, I'm terrible at predicting things, so maybe we should do another game that I can have a chance of winning to get some sort of prize, because I can't predict.
What kind of thing do you think you'd nail?
Downing a litre of protein shake, eating 10 chicken sausages in under a minute. I don't know. Something to do with eating based. I'll just net.
Maybe we could throw that in as like a bonus round, and then it's worth like 20 points or something.
20 points. But yeah, speaking of protein, It was my birthday over. It was my birthday over the
Been
weekend.
speaking about protein for 10 minutes.
Continuing the protein chat. It was my birthday over the weekend. Happy birthday to me.
Oh, happy
Thank you.
birthday.
And my wife was like, "Oh, I'll make you a cake. What do you want?" And I was like, "Well, I just want a pure protein cake. So instead of flour and sugar, I just put protein powder and shitloads of eggs and bake it in the oven." She said, "Shut up." And I said, "Yeah, it's fair." So she made me a nice brownie. So I've just been destroying that. Not a protein powder in sight.
Protein brownie.
Nah, just pure chocolate and sugar. It was class.
You deserve it, man. You deserve it. You've been very good, so
Tough man, tough life. I felt really guilty afterwards. I was like, oh, fuck's sake.
Did you?
I just shot a fucking powder dry.
2 lines of protein off the brownie.
No. But yeah, I've also seen recipes for protein cakes and stuff like that.
There you go.
It's a big business, mate, that protein. There's like so many powders out there. Anyway, we're not sponsored by Big Protein, so let's go into some Scottish football stuff. I've got a schedule for today. As you can tell, it's my first time hosting, so I've hastily put together some sort of running order. And yeah, just the usual sort of unorganised chaos as per every episode, but that's why we're Tinpot. And that's why our fans love us. So, main discussion point is, is football, or are footballers woke, in inverted commas? Are they soft? Are they mollycoddled too much these days? And sort of framing that kind of in the way of, is the power of the manager diluted? This is off the back of a debate from John Rankin and Ryan Stevenson on Sportsound at the weekend after Kamara, the Dundee midfielder, got himself sent off for a mental sort of headbutt, could you call it? Bit of a heat of the moment sort of thing. They were claiming that Goodwin should, tell this boy, "You'll never play for me again." They were saying that he should hang him out to dry on his post-match interview. They were saying that you'll get stuck into him in the changing rooms. The players might get stuck into him. They might, fucking get him seriously told, sort of thing. And I was wondering, we always hear about it nowadays, about maybe just football in general. You can talk about perhaps on the pitch, tackles aren't what they used to be. The game's kind of moved away from physical, certainly. And is that the same off the pitch? First kind of question for that, Andrew, is, I was thinking, is the power of the manager less now than it was before, based on perhaps the executive structures that a lot of clubs seem to impose, that the manager's kind of disposable in a way at some clubs, so then he can't really feel like he has the power to really tell a player, where to go, sort of thing. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it is something we kind of touched on in a separate conversation previously, but not in a lot of detail. But yeah, no, I do think so. I do think that the power of the manager is definitely lesser than it was, in the good old days, But yeah, I don't know, the role of a manager is completely different. The role of a manager is almost becoming obsolete, really. With the head coach kind of role becoming a little bit more sort of prevalent. And with that, then the manager naturally has less authority. I think that's very difficult to argue against. And naturally, with the players over time having more and more power, the general sort of shift is pretty significant. I think we're seeing as well, I know this is going slightly off topic, but it is relevant. You see the amount of times that players have downed tools, and ultimately that's resulted in the manager's demise. And I know that did happen, at times back in the day, but if you look at the sheer turnover of managers now, let's just focus on Scottish football, it's pretty significant.
Yeah.
It is pretty significant, and that can't be down to the managers having the same influence, the same power, the same level of respect.
Yep.
I think so. Yeah, I think the whole structure is a harder time to be a
I think
manager.
so.
Definitely,
A
I
lot
would
of I
say
mean, even these
definitely.
clubs like Dundee United, Hibs, whatever, they have man above the manager. Like Aberdeen, obviously, saw that boy sitting in the dugout. Lots. So if the manager would come out and say like, "This guy's never playing for me again," well, the director of football or the whatever the title is, he'll be like, "Well, actually, no. What we need him to play," and a lot of that could be based on the need for these clubs to keep their sort of assets in the shop window to try and make some money on them.
Yeah, yeah,
Especially the likes
definitely.
of Dundee United, Aberdeen,
Mhm.
Hibs, whose model is sort of based on bringing in players fairly cheap and trying to sell them
Mhm.
on. And again, the manager doesn't make transfer decisions as much anymore. The manager sort of coaches
Yeah,
players. Beforehand, you'd have the manager that would. We've all played Football Manager. We all know that
yeah,
you do the training, you do the transfers, you do the picking the team. Um, but now the manager's, I say, the role is diluted, so it is harder for the manager to be that sort of authoritative, authoritarian. I don't even
yeah,
know. The sort of oh, everyone always cites Ferguson, but it's true. He sort of ran that club in terms of Man United. Um,
yeah. Well, it's even like the O'Neill, in his
mhm.
first round. It was even like the Walter Smith, it was the Alec McLeish's, all these types of managers, your Browns, etc. It's they had the final say. They were the be all and end all. Sure, they weren't the ones that were funding deals, but they were the ones that were dictating who comes in, who comes out, and setting standards as well. But to use that incident as a specific example, if you're in a structure where you have a director of football, unless it's absolutely categorically clear from the very offset that the manager can pretty much have free reign on decision making there, which is very, very unlikely. He is going to have to be like, right, this guy's never playing for us again, but let me just quickly check, and
Yeah,
turns
no.
upwards. And is it okay if I tell him he's not gonna... Oh well, yeah, maybe we need to sell him. All right, I'll just tell him that's not on. Right, fine. It's just a bit. It dilutes the message, and
Yeah.
and from a leadership perspective, you want to just be able to stamp that
Mhm.
immediately. So yeah, it,
It's maybe a case that football hasn't
it's
gone
horrible.
soft per se, or the managers haven't become softer. They've just got less power, so they can't say what they think, or perhaps they can. And maybe again, this goes back to something that Tam said last week. Maybe they're more aware of what they say in the media now. Um,
Yeah,
they're less inclined to perhaps go off on one. They're more structured in the way they answer questions. Just in the age of social
yeah,
media or the age of media being sort of all consuming, um,
yeah,
it's maybe a bit more difficult for them to be as um, responsive so quickly. They do seem to be more reserved in what they say.
yeah.
Do you think players can take it though, Andrew? These modern day players, can they take a bollocking if they were to be given one, perhaps on camera or even behind the scenes? Think they would, as you say, down tools? Is that a thing that would happen
I th-
necessarily if they get a bit upset?
I, I think it's a difficult one. I mean, the easy answer is no. But I think generalizing is maybe not fair. Obviously, being a Rangers fan, the sort of nearest example I can think of is when Steven Gerrard was in charge, and he was pretty outspoken. Particularly post match. If actually in press conferences in general, if a player wasn't performing, wasn't up to standard, wasn't fit, whatever it was. But because he had that sort of commanding respect of the dressing room and the squad, he was able to do that. However, there's not, more often than not, the setup is not the similar, I guess, that a manager would perhaps feel confident, to be able to then call out players so publicly. And also, I suppose everyone's got different management styles, but unfortunately, with the way that it's kind of developing, you are looking at a generally kind of softer style. And the more that becomes a trend, then, ultimately, to answer your question, it becomes this atmosphere where players effectively feel untouchable, and then if you all of a sudden start to be sort of putting them back in their box, then it doesn't go down well with the entire dressing room or the majority. So generally, I would say the answer is, that effectively they probably can't take it, but I do think it's still possible to have that scenario if you build, the right respect and give the right kind of authority to a manager. It still exists, but it's just less common.
Yeah, I think it's just systemic of the way football is going. It's becoming a lot more tactical, even at the Scottish football game. Because before it could be a bit of blood and thunder, a bit of getting stuck in aggressive kind of vibe, and the sort of there is still the aggression there. It's less physical. It's more sort of tactical, or more like running around type physicality rather than sort of getting stuck in. You don't really see as much tackles these days. I mean, I really can't remember a game where there was just like crunching tackles. Like, I mean, football's a lot, especially in the top flight in Scotland. It's a lot of tactical physicality. Like, you will run a certain distance. You will
less time on the ball.
Less time on the ball. But that's not because someone's coming at snappy. It's because you're kind of getting pressed. So that's kind of the evolution of the football in general has perhaps made it so that the era of the tough tackler. I don't know. I mean, what do you think about that? Is that?
I don't like that element. I think that it's changed for the worse. And I mean, looking back on the weekend's game, I was watching Rangers Hibs, and Joe Newell, went through one of the Rangers players to get the ball and got the ball well. But he was immediately blown up for, I think it was a yellow card at the time, and I was just like, do you know what, like, let it play, like, for fuck's sake, like, it's the player's not injured, it wasn't a dangerous tackle. He's just made sure he knew he was there, and he got the ball. It's just the game is very stop start.
And that's VAR as well, I think.
It is, and those stops are so much longer as well.
And players are scared that any challenge can be paused and frozen or slowed down that looks bad, so they're like, I better not go in too aggressively on this.
Absolutely, like, that's the thing. We've seen loads of red cards over the course of this season for nothing really, and a lot of bad decisions. So it's not really helped the game at all here because they can't use it properly. But I do think that if they got that right and fluid, I think that would be fine. But I think more than anything, I think we need to embrace the fact that we're a physical league. The fact that you can't stop a game every 30 seconds. As a referee, you have to let some things go. You have to kind of even it out. And that's just the way it is. That's how it used to be anyway. You win some, you lose some on decisions, but you always felt that, particularly if you look at like old derbies, Edinburgh derbies, Old Firms, etc., big fucking beefy tackles going in, and that was part of the entertainment. But then stopping that, time after time after time, it just
you'd be looking at every single challenge. You'd be getting a fucking VAR review, and the referee would be holding his finger to his fucking ear, and the fans would be standing about, and the atmosphere would be dead. It's just like, I think.
Well, that's it.
We've gone round in a circle. I think the whole sort of thing from the manager having less responsibility, to the players perhaps not being as physical, to the game itself being designed to be less physical. I think the way that the technology is coming in to kind of nitpick at every little sort of challenge that could potentially be a red card, and then the whole idea of being an aggressive player they're probably told not to do anything silly, or they're told to. Are they told? Do you think they're told not to tackle as much anymore?
Well, I think the whole evolution of the game is just basically making it. It's trying to stamp out that sort of physicality, I guess. But I mean, on the flip side, I can understand it to a degree, because you look at the amount of games that players have to play at the moment, especially those that are, getting called up at international level as well. There's a lot more games to juggle now. There's a lot more tournaments, and we've obviously discussed that till the cows come home, previously, and we don't really massively agree with that. But I think that becomes a factor, because that player protection then comes in, and then you're saying, right, okay, well, if this guy has played 90 minutes pretty much of every game this season, and, he's then being absolutely kicked about the pitch, in this game, I really need to, as a referee, protect the player, and I think that comes into the mind more, that, there's this sort of heavy fixture list. So I think, to be honest, it's sort of, root and branch problem, really, isn't it? Like, everything has an influence on it, and it's a perfect storm to kind of create this sort of soft, environment.
It's kind of diluted. It's been kind of, everything seems to have a process now, whether it be VAR or managers sort of organogram sort of vibe. We've all seen a fucking organogram. Manager is not the top anymore. That's the thing. The manager would always be at the top. He would always, and it would funnel down from his ideas, whereas now there's many people within the structure of a club. And then obviously,
absolutely,
you're right, footballers are fucking knackered, and they're worried about getting injured more, perhaps, so maybe they don't go in as hard. I just missed the good old times. But I'm a lower league fan, so it's still pretty blood and thunder down there, like no VAR stopping us getting stuck in. I mean, you understand why people do enjoy the sort of lower league games more, like
absolutely,
it's kind of real, in inverted commas again, real football. We all have our idea of what football is, but I think we all do enjoy the physical game, and we like when it can get a bit exciting in that respect. I think, we can go on about VAR ruining the game as much as we have many times. I think we all share the same opinion, but it's not going anywhere, so I don't know how we sort of address that. It's a worldwide football issue that's just sort of makes
I just can't see how it can be so inefficient. That's the problem. If it's here to stay, that's fair enough, but it's like,
the tackles are always,
time it's taking.
Tackles have always been a part of the game. Like, it's something that's been taken out of the game now, and it's made it worse, the game worse for it, like, because football it's not becoming a non-contact sport. Obviously that's a lot of nonsense, but it is. The players are clearly aware that something can be paused at a different angle and look like a red card when it's not a red card, and then you're thinking, well, maybe I can't go for that ball that I might have gone for in the past. But yeah, so I think we agree football is soft. All the players are weak. Managers are weak. The only people that are strong, I don't even know. Who's the strongest in football, Andrew? Which role is the most dominant? The owner? I don't know.
The kit man.
The kit man. He's always a beast. The kit man's always some burly figure, like somebody demanding respect. You never mess with the kit man, like.
Exactly. Yeah. One final point on it, actually. I was just thinking, with this sort of cooperation agreement we've got going on at the moment, I mean, does that really prepare players very well for moving up the ranks? Because, I mean, ultimately, if you've got a player from, say, Celtic, going to the Championship or League One, and get very used to that physicality, then you're moving into almost a different world, altogether in the Premiership, because, you play the same way. You're going to get the whistle blown at you, every 2 minutes. So, there's not that continuity as well. So it's a real difficult one to juggle, that.
I do like football. We like football, don't we, Andrew? We do enjoy it. We like
I think we like football. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right.
It's not bad. Yeah,
but we think we think we could run the game better. I think that's basically the
absolutely
point. Yeah.
Less rules, more protein. Job done.
Yeah. Instead of Jamie Vardy necking a Red Bull, he's just like fucking doing lines of my protein vanilla milkshake flavour. Decent flavour, to be fair. My favourite is still the Vimto. One of the best one I've had is Vimto. Tastes just like Vimto.
Is that a limited edition, that, or
I can't seem to find it in fucking Tesco since I got it once. It was really good.
Oh no.
Well, that's gone. Anyway, let's not get into the protein again, Andrew. I think our listeners may have switched off in their record times after our shit spewing protein chat in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, so maybe. Yeah.
We need Tam to keep us in check. Us fathers,
yeah.
We're fucking
I think so.
Stuck in our bubble of parenthood. It's grim. But it's my turn to talk about what's the point in, and we'll
nice.
As it's the transfer deadline day. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
In Scotland. My what's the point in today is what's the point in a transfer window for lower league clubs in Scotland? It's just off the back of just basically who gives. I said this to you off air. Who gives a shit like when we sign players for like no money ever, or we like loan a player? I mean, perhaps if you loan a player from a Premiership club, I don't know, maybe. But I mean, really, because that player's never going to play for that team. Because why would we go to like on loan to Rovers or League One? These clubs need players all the time. Like they're part time. A lot of them are part time. A lot of them have players that can get injured for freak accidents at work. Like for example, if you're a postman, a dog can bite your hand through the letterbox. I mean, that's nothing to do with football. And then what? You have to do some sort of emergency loan. That's a total fucking faff. So just let them sign anyone they want whenever they want. No transfer windows. Boom. The game would be better for it. Like, it'd be fucking class. Just scrap transfer windows altogether, Andrew, as well, I think. Just fucking let them sign whenever they want.
Yeah, I mean, I like the excitement of the transfer window.
It's not the same if you're Wraith Rovers or that, is it? Oh, we've got someone on loan. I know that's to get the transfer
window.
That's
right. That's what I was going to say. But I think domestically, you know, for anything outside the sort of Premiership, I think that there shouldn't really be a problem there.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely worthwhile. A lot of these clubs, particularly sort of League One, League Two, they've got really, really, really tight squads. You know, so as soon as you get a couple of injuries in there, it's you know, serious problems. And you know, some of them don't really have the infrastructure to be bringing, you know, players through academies and preparing them for first team football so quickly. So I think that you know, there should be a little bit more freedom there, in my opinion, to maybe then make a signing, you know, outside that traditional window. But yeah, I think at the Premiership level, I quite like it, and also I do think that it benefits teams like Hearts, and you know, particularly in this season, you know, if Rangers and Celtic could just continually splash the cash as soon as they have a bad result, you know, then I think that would be a disaster. But at the same time, who would you be able to buy from? Because, you know, ultimately, you know, everyone else would have transfer windows, I guess. So you can really poach a player.
Just let a lower league club just transfer the players about from each other forever.
Yeah, I don't think there's any harm in that. No. You know, ultimately it means that they can, you know, be at their best, I guess.
Exactly. But we don't play on the same sort of game as like these clubs with higher resources. It's a different ball game. It's a survival of the fittest. It's a kind of live each day as it comes sort of vibe for some clubs anyway.
Yeah.
Just let them do whatever they want, man. I'm just all for free love, Andrew. I'm a sharing it all kind of guy. Like, let's just have it all the time. What do you think?
I'm not against it. I think I'm just thinking of logistically how it would kind of work. But
like, just see,
I suppose
this player for a couple of games. I just bring him over. Right? Just come and play for us now. What's his name? Sorry, line him up. A ringer.
But what if you had like? Because it has happened, you know, recently. If you look at sort of League One, where Cali Thistle have had, you know, ridiculously higher resources than the rest of the league, yeah. You know, then would there be a way of scaling it according to your kind of club value or something along those lines? I mean,
maybe,
because otherwise, then whoever's got the deepest pockets, I guess, is always just gonna run away with the league, aren't they? But becomes less tactical, I guess, like we were saying about Hearts. But
one to think about, Andrew. One to think about.
That's one to think about. Yeah, that's one to think about. Interesting though.
It's just when you get like transfer deadline in England, it's like, oh, we spent hundreds and hundreds of £50 million, and like then it's like lower league Wraith have signed a boy on loan for Barrow today, Innes Cameron. It's like, oh great. I was fucking refreshing Sky Sports News for Jim White to come and tell me that fucking big Fabio or Fabrizio Romano is like, here we go, Innes Cameron signs on loan from Barrow. Looking although Wraith did a really good video reveal. It was like, Big Innes from Still Game. It was kind of based on that, because so it's like,
I've got to say, some of the videos coming out of this transfer window from the Scottish teams have been pretty high level, I've got to say. So watched the Finlay Curtis one yesterday, caught it a bit late.
You called that signing as well, did you not, Andrew?
Made me laugh.
I'm sure you called that.
I mean, when Neil McCann was coming in, I thought that's going to happen. Yeah. But
once again, Tinpot.
I think it'll be good for him without kind of going off on a tangent. But it's good to see young players getting some, hopefully, promise of some decent game time, especially Scottish players. So more of that, please.
Let's briefly touch on some results from the weekend while we're talking about Kelly. They obviously battered Aberdeen 3-0, which was McCann's first win. Sensational result for them, and a new low for Aberdeen in another pitiful season. You have to say that's probably Livingston doomed to bottom now, you reckon, Andrew, after that. And obviously Martindale's gone upstairs and Marvin Bartley's now the manager. Interesting move there.
Yeah, I think on Livingston it's difficult one. I mean, obviously that we saw a few scenes, of I think some Livingston fans maybe being slightly unfair on Martindale. A little bit disrespectful in my opinion. To someone who's been there sort of thick and thin. But I can understand the frustrations for where they are in the table, but ultimately you must be, favourites to go down before a ball was kicked anyway. So it's not like you're massively underachieving. But yeah, Bartley, I just really hope that he's not put under too much pressure.
I think it's like a job for next season type of thing.
I think so. I mean, realistically, it's mission impossible to kind of keep them up. If he does, I mean, wow, manager of the season job, even though there's only about 13 games or whatever to go. But yeah, I think they're more looking ahead to next season. Yeah. Surely, a young manager, obviously not a crazy sort of CV in management. Obviously, is been around the coaching setup for quite a while, but I want to see him do well. I really do want to see him do well. And as for Kelly, great result. It's just maybe starting to click a little bit there. Aberdeen need to pull the finger out though, and sort this managerial situation. Shambles, I'm so surprised you've gone through the whole window, without a manager. That's really. That doesn't make any sense to me. And every time there's an interview with the director of football, it seems like that process is just going so slowly.
He wants the job for himself,
well, maybe, but he was saying that there was not a lot of, I'm paraphrasing, but quality candidates. Out of the voluminous, level of applicants that came in. So I think that's concerning, really. Ultimately, if you're getting rid of a manager, you kind of really need to have your eye on another, surely, or another couple. Doesn't really sound like they've been on top of that process. So be interesting to hear from some Aberdeen fans if they actually have any opinions on that, because from a neutral's perspective, I'm really shocked that it's taken this long and a whole window's gone, because whoever comes in is just going to have to play with what they've got.
Yeah, let us know, Aberdeen fans, what do you reckon? It's been a strange season for them. Really disappointing. You feel like it's kind of just they're letting it pass them by,
Yeah.
They've made a few signings and a few exits are looking likely in the transfer window, but again, that squad is just so bloated, full of a hodgepodge sort of mixture of signings that none of which have really impressed too much.
Yeah.
it's been a strange season for Aberdeen. Another result that stood out at the weekend, obviously, was at Tannadice. We briefly discussed the sending off of Kamara. But yeah, a very impressive result for Hearts, who are going from strength to strength on a difficult pitch. Which is a great result.
Yeah.
Coupled with also Rangers dropping points the day after.
Absolutely.
Where do you think that leaves Hearts now? Surely, as games go by, you're thinking it's got to be their year. But then again, that's the thing about Scottish football. The split means you're always going to be playing your rivals in the last few games, which is obviously really exciting. So it's obviously going to go down to those games, you'd imagine.
Yeah, I think it will. But what I would say positively from a Hearts perspective is that they have handled these games already.
Mm-hmm.
They've handled these games sometimes with some key injuries as well. So if they can get back to full sort of fighting fit, these new signings are making an impact as well. I really think they've got an excellent chance. Obviously Rangers dropped points on the
what happened there, Andrew? What happened there?
To be honest, look, there are pockets of Rangers fans that were really frustrated about that, but ultimately, I look at it as ultimately it's not a loss.
Mm-hmm.
It still means that Rule's loss record is ridiculously low, and I think what he's done so far is absolutely remarkable. So it doesn't really take away from that. From a Hibs perspective, very frustrating, because I think they could have put the game away and got the result.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 20 odd years since they've beaten Rangers at Easter Road
Really?
in the Premiership. Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I think David Gray would be pretty disappointed about that result, but Rangers, I think, that's kind of where they are. They're going to have, these drop points with anyone, particularly in that top six. So not at all shocked by that. Hearts are definitely have got the momentum. Celtic are, pretty busy in the tail end of the window, so it'll be interesting to see if any of those signings come good. But I think Rangers, the best they could really hope for is probably second. But let's see. Hearts. I really want Hearts to do it. I think the chances of Rangers doing it are slim, in my opinion.
Okay.
But Celtic, I think if they have a bounce from these signings, then they'll be in for a shout.
That's it. And the action's coming thick and fast. Hearts away to St Mirren tomorrow. And then on Wednesday you've got Rangers at home to Killie, Celtic away at Aberdeen, which you expect them to win. Rangers and Celtic. Hearts obviously game unstuck against St Mirren in the League Cup. They lost there, and obviously St Mirren aren't playing very well at the moment. Only 4 wins this season, but it's always a difficult place to go, and Hearts have struggled there. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on tomorrow night. But they are looking very strong. The squad is deep, and the players really are stepping up. They look really impressive. That Leonard boy looks like a really good signing for them in centre mid. He
definitely,
played well against Celtic, and again the other night he looks like a classy player. So they don't really miss Edwin that much. And obviously Benningham will be back tomorrow. So, and again Big Kabori getting the goals as well. So it's just looking good.
Absolutely
exciting stuff.
I think they can do it. It'll be an interesting game against St Mirren, but St Mirren in rotten form, so you'd really fancy Hearts to actually win that comfortably. To be honest, that's how I would see that going. But St Mirren are in a spot where they really need to be picking up points now and turn that form around.
Yeah,
because
you don't want to be 11th.
No, well, they're only 3 off of Kilmarnock, obviously game in hand, but it's tight down there. Kilmarnock, St Mirren, Dundee,
even
all
United.
pretty tight. I mean, United could get dragged into that, and I mean Aberdeen. The longer this managerial sort of recruitment goes on, if you can call it that, then anyone really could end up in that that 11th spot. So yeah, it'd be really interesting to see what that bottom six looks like at the end of the season.
Definitely, and we'll be here to cover it all with you, listener, until the end of the season. In what is our inaugural season as Tinpot, and we've picked a good one. We're recording this on Monday evening, which is transfer deadline evening, I guess.
Yep.
We're going to go over a few of the sort of rumours or transfers that have happened today and over the last few days. Obviously, the big one is Bowie going to Hellas Verona for £6 million, which is mental. I'm proud of Kieran, a man from Kirkcaldy myself. It's a fair rise for the boy. Andrew, what do you think of that transfer fee, and have Hibs done well on that?
I think Hibs and Bowie have done remarkably well with that. I don't think he's really worth that money at all. Personally, I don't want to put a Scottish player down. And I don't think he's a terrible player or anything like that. I just don't think he's worth that money at all. So great fee. Obviously, it should be decent wages for Bowie there as well. And maybe that kind of style of football would suit his game a little bit better. He's obviously got some magic in his locker. He's just not very consistent in Scottish football. So if he can find that consistency there, that's great. He's not going to a team that are absolutely flying. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes over the next year or two for him. But well done. Good business. But I just can't put with the numbers he's been achieving recently. I just cannot.
It's such a small sample size. He's injured for a bit last season as well. He didn't even he played a full season for him last season, so he's only played 1.5, not even full seasons, and to get that money is amazing. I mean, Italy seem to be enjoying coming to Scotland to take some really exciting young talent. Lennon Miller starting again tonight for Udinese. Obviously Doig went to Italy. I think Verona as well. I think he's out at Sassuolo. Henderson still kicking about in Italy. Obviously Lewis Ferguson. So it has proved to be a fairly exciting place for young Scottish talent to develop. And even if Verona do get relegated, I think a season in Serie B, you can get promoted again. You could even get another move if you perform well. So I think it's exciting for him, and it's always good to see Scottish players test themselves abroad.
Definitely.
Whether he's the man to fire them to safety, I don't really know much about Italian football, but good on you. Another striker that's made an interesting move today, James Wilson from Hearts has gone on loan to Tottenham. I saw a rumour this morning that Arsenal were interested, and I was thinking, okay, obviously their interest cool. He's gone to Spurs on loan. I don't know how that'll go, or what do you think about that, Andrew? On loan, I'd imagine that's to do with PSR probably, so they can't really pay a fee for him now. I don't even know. Maybe they'll buy him in the summer.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
He's not going to play, is he? Surely he's not even been playing for Hearts. I'd imagine that's obviously.
No, I don't think so. I mean, he's a really interesting player. He was one that was kind of on my radar in the summer. That I thought would be a decent punt for Rangers, to be honest with you. As a potential backup striker, good to have someone that understands the Scottish game. And obviously that didn't transpire. It's a great move for him. What he'll make of that, or what he'll be allowed to make of that, I don't know. Obviously time will tell, but to even, if he's not getting a game at Hearts, to even just be in and around,
to go and train with Spurs,
exactly. The experience itself, I don't know how long you'll be there for, or whatever the conditions are, but just to be around that setup, and it's obviously one of the most state of the art, in the world, actually, so. Yeah, no, good on him. I'm delighted for him.
The boy was in doing his hires last year or something, and now he's getting a call. You're going to Tottenham, mate. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
He's only 18.
I know. Let's hope it works out for him. You worry sometimes when these players go to big clubs like that they end up just getting lost in the system and then coming back. And
I think it's a loan though, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, at least there's not too much of a commitment there, but you never know. You know, you might really impress, get on their books, and then
Exactly.
go out on loan to, I don't know, a championship club or something like that. Potentially, but I suppose they'll use this time to kind of assess really how good he is. But whenever I've seen flashes of him, he does look like he's really got something.
Yeah, he's
So,
exciting talent. He obviously he got a Scotland cap.
Yeah.
One of the games we lost, I think it was Greece maybe. He's certainly on the radar of Clark as well. And then one last, not transfer, but another sort of development that shocked me. Nottingham Forest bidding £25 million for penalty king Engels. Celtic rejecting that bid incredibly. Andrew, what do you make of that? That is some serious money. I don't know what Forest see in Engels, to be fair. I mean, and for Celtic to double their money and not want to sell him, they obviously think he's going to be worth more than that in the future. I don't know, Andrew, what do you reckon?
I mean,
that's mind blowing, hey?
It just doesn't make any sense to me at all. You know, the alleged value of the first couple of bids, which was around the sort of 14 mil mark. I would have been keen to take the money at that point, and I know obviously quite a lot of Celtic fans on social media were pretty keen to take the money. So to then negotiate it up to 25, that's incredible, absolutely incredible. I think you should really be snatching the hand off with that one. You're more than doubling your money on him, and
this is a player that's been not even a regular starter, not even a standout player when he has been playing.
Exactly, that's what I mean. I did call him out sort of very early in the season as him and Ida obviously being overinflated in terms of value, but I stand by that. I don't think he's a horrendous player.
No.
I just there's not a 25 mil player in him right now. He is young. He's only 22.
Mm-hmm.
He's still got his best years ahead of him. I do think he's got good technical ability, but he's maybe one of those players that isn't able to kind of show that consistently in Scotland. And for a team that haven't yet confirmed their sort of permanent management choice, for next season, and nor should they. That's okay considering the situation they're in. I do think it's very brave to say that you would want to be keeping Engels on the books and are confident that you can
get more,
get a higher valuation than that. Again, it comes back to our earlier conversation about manager, power and all that kind of thing. It would mean that, a director of football is saying, you must fucking play this guy because, we've rejected a bid of 25 mil in January, so we need to recoup that plus, 5 mil or whatever in the next window if we are going to get rid of him. So that might put a bit of a pressure on the next manager.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about 25 million, you're thinking of a player that's going to be like dominating games, scoring loads of goals, and being like the main man. He's hardly been that for Celtic. He's been part of the worst Celtic team of all time. But he's worth 25 million, so the squad can't be that bad if you've got a fucking superstar midfielder.
No, exactly.
So.
You look at good talented players that have come out of there. Your Wanyamas, your Van Dijks, your Frimpongs, etc. They definitely are much clearer standouts. Even at the time that they left the club, much clearer standouts than Engels is right now. So surprising one.
Yeah, really interesting. But, Celtic fans, comment below, let us know your value of Engels. What do you think he's worth, and do you think Celtic are making a mistake in rejecting this bid? They don't need money apparently, so they've got like billions in the bank, so I think they'll be alright maybe to keep him at the club, but I don't know if he'll ever make that money again. 25 million, you never know.
In a world where sponsorship is more accessible than ever, that world exists at sportsponsorship.co.uk. Whether you're interested in making a difference to your local community or further afield, or perhaps you're looking for access to tens of thousands of followers online to push your brand further than ever, get in touch with sportsponsorship.co.uk. That's sportsponsorship.co.uk. Okay.
Never know.
Yeah.
Speaking of transfer values, it's time to go on to our quiz. And for the first time ever, I have set the quiz today. And it's my main man, Andrew's turn to play transfer value higher or lower. So I've got 10 transfer values from either Scottish players moving away from Scottish football or Scottish clubs buying sort of anyone. So foreign players going to Scotland. Or Scottish players going away. So it's just based about Scottish football. As I say, I was thinking about doing this game, but then I realised it was really difficult. It would just end up being Celtic or Rangers players if I just did it like them buying players, because no one else spends any money. So I had to do Scottish players leaving the country to go and be good abroad. Okay, we spoke about this man.
Will you be telling me where they're going?
Yeah, I'll try and remember.
Both sides are.
I don't have any slides, or I don't have any graphics or that, or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire shite, but
we don't need it.
Nah.
We don't need it.
We'll start with our main man, Bowie. So obviously he's left to go to Hellas for 6 million. Celtic signed Tunekti in this summer from someone. Was his value, transfer fee, higher or lower than 6 million?
I've got a feeling it was lower. For some reason I want to say it was 4.5 or something like that. So I'm going to say it was lower.
Wrong. It was 6.4 million pounds. 6.4. Wasted money, I think, for Celtic. Yeah. Let us know, guys, what do you reckon, these transfer fees? So 6.4 million. Rangers in the summer across Glasgow brought in a variety of players of differing quality. One of them was ponytailed, handsome Norwegian Asgard, Theodor Asgard from Luton Town, I believe. Was his transfer fee higher or lower than 6.4 million?
I think it was lower.
What do you think it was? You're gonna take a guess.
I reckon it was max 5.
You going lower?
Yes.
Lower is correct. It was £4 million for Asgard. Do you think he's repaid his transfer fee, Andrew?
No.
No. Is he worth 25 million to go back to England?
He takes about 100 touches.
He's a showboater, is he?
And has no urgency at all. I think he'd be good in another league, if I'm honest with you. He's clearly talented, but when you don't get the time on the ball in Scottish football, he's maybe not quite cut out for that yet.
So Asgard, £4 million. We'll move on to a Scotsman who moved away from Scotland. We'll turn to Mr. John McGinn. John left Hibs to join Aston Villa, maybe like 8 years ago or something like that. Andrew, was his fee from Hibs to Villa higher or lower than £4 million?
That is a tough one, actually, because it was quite some time ago.
Before inflation. Before a pack of chicken cost you like £7. Or a Freddo was...
It's very difficult, that for 2 reasons. One, it was a while ago, and 2, surely he wasn't kind of in the peak of his contract at the time, so I'm going to say lower. Reluctantly.
I think Villa got a bargain on John McGinn. He's turned out to be one of the most important players of the last 5 or 6 years. You would be
I mean, he's worth a lot.
He's worth a lot now. But they got him for lower. They got him for 3.1 million.
Okay.
That is a bargain.
That's alright then.
He's turned out to be one of their best players. And he's a key player for Scotland. Now, he'd be worth about, 50, 60 million now if he were to move to someone else? You reckon?
Well, yeah, with the sort of Premier League tax, I guess. Even though he's maybe not at his prime from an age perspective. I mean, he's not past it by any means.
Fit as a fiddle. His arse alone's worth about 5 million, Andrew.
Well, surely, it was one per cheek, I think. But yeah, good 10 mil in the bag there.
10 mil. Okay, going back a bit further, we're thinking about a player that left Rangers to move to Liverpool. Right. Danny Wilson. Was his transfer fee higher or lower than 3.1 million to go to Liverpool? This was about 10, 15 years ago, maybe.
I think it was higher.
You would be wrong. It was only £2 million.
Oh,
there were some add-ons, but I don't think he ever made enough appearances to get any additional fee for Rangers, and
fair.
He did venture back, did he not, on a free transfer a few years later after a few injury problems.
He did venture back, and then he's went to America, I think.
Yeah, he's at Livy at the moment. Yeah.
He's back in Scottish football now. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay, so he was 2 million. A bit more modern now. We'll go across to Celtic. Celtic signed Dejan Maeda from Japan under Ange Postecoglou. Mm-hmm. Was his transfer fee to come to Celtic higher or lower than £2 million?
I know they got him for a snip. But I mean, surely did they? Less than £2 million. They got a lot of deals at the time, so they got Hatate and
Kyogo,
Furuhashi and all that. Yeah. I mean, it was good business, but I don't think it was that good. I'm going to say higher.
Ooh. It was lower. It was £1.53 million. What a bargain!
Wow,
what a bargain!
That's incredible.
He's a good wee.
That is incredible, isn't it?
I know. Okay. I don't know what your score is, but who cares about that?
I've got 2.
2. You're keeping score. Very good.
2 out of 5.
Bit of fun. Okay, we'll move on to a very highly regarded young talent at the time. Played for Hamilton when he was 16 years old. Moved to Wigan from Hamilton. James McCarthy. Was his fee to Wigan higher or lower than £1.53 million?
It's a tough one, isn't it? He was very young at the time.
Yeah, I remember him being so highly regarded when he was at Hamilton.
Yeah, him and MacArthur moved at the same time, if I'm not wrong. I'm gonna say lower, just because it was such a long time ago. But I'm on the fence.
Correct. It was £1.2 million. Well done. £1.2 million, which is a great deal for Hamilton back in the day. Signed for them in 2009. Jesus God.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
What happened to him? Was it Celtic?
I think he was only like 18 or something at the time, or he was a teenager, was he not?
That's right, yeah. He made his debut when he was 16 years old.
Wow.
I think he was like 18 maybe when he moved to Wigan. He had a good career in Wigan, played 120 games for them, 108 games for Everton, then obviously he was a bit blighted with injury, and perhaps his career never achieved its full potential, but he still did well for himself. So yeah, 1.2 million. Let's move on. This one's quite easy. Danilo, Rangers signed Danilo. This one surprised me. I'm thinking, right, this guy, he's pissed. Danilo, they signed this boy. He's worth fuck all. Is he higher or lower than the 1.2 million?
I'm pretty sure he was 6 million. I think it was.
Yep.
Because there's a song about it.
6.1. I was like looking at players in the Rangers squad. I was like, this boy's fucking worth nothing. He's barely even played. Like £6.1 million of this boy. So we spent 8 million on Trimiti and 6 million on this guy.
I think we're getting rid of him for 2 or 2.5 or something like that. No.
Who bought him? Like, who was the manager?
Michael Beale.
Was it Michael Beale?
Yeah, when he to be fair, he didn't have a director of football or anything there, so he was like flying around Europe doing like Del Boy deals. Yeah.
Michael Beale, Ian Beale.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, not wrong there.
Wow. Yeah, so I just put that one in anyway because I thought, fuck it, I'll just keep it in. Okay, so the last two are quite tricky. You remember Calvin Ramsey? Moved from Aberdeen to Liverpool.
Yes.
He was supposed to be the...
Is he still there?
I think he's there, but I think he's on loan somewhere else. I don't think he's really fulfilled his potential. I know he was on I think he was at Kelly last season. I think he's been on the bench for Liverpool. Do you think he was higher or lower than 6.1 million?
I think that... I don't think so, because I think he would have been... I don't know. He was young though, and it wasn't that long ago. No, I'll go with my gut. I'll say no, but it must be about... I feel it's around the 5 mark, I think.
You are correct. It was £4.2 million he went to
nice.
Liverpool. which was a club record sale for Aberdeen at the time. Again, he's not really fulfilled his potential. A few loans in England and Kelly last season. Let's hope he can find a club that really suits his style, because he was very exciting when he first came through Aberdeen.
Yeah.
So that was,
I really fancied him as a player. Yeah, I thought he was good.
£4.2 million. The last one is captain, leader, legend Scott Brown, going from Hibs to Celtic. What was he, higher or lower than £4.2 million? Bear in mind this was about 19 years ago.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
£4.2 million was Calvin Ramsey. Was Scott Brown higher or lower?
My gut's saying lower. But I think it must have been some sort of record for Hibs at the time, I would imagine. 4.2, did you say?
Yeah, for Ramsey, yeah.
I think it was some sort of record, but what would be a record back then? It's like early 2000s, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. 2007, 8, yeah. Mid to late.
I'll say higher. I'll go for higher.
Right. And he's correct.
Stick the neck out.
Correct. It was
really?
4.4 million.
Holy shit.
I know.
That's a lot.
That's a lot for Hibs. What a great deal for both clubs, I think. It worked out very well. I think he was
I've got one more.
That was it, mate. That's it done. I guess 9 or 10.
Had 9 questions.
Yeah, well, Bobby was the first 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I fucking doing it in bed and I was trying to put my son to sleep, eh? I kept wanting to hold my hand as well and I couldn't really type with my phone, so I'd give up. Yeah, what'd you get with 9 then?
Oh, amazing. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 9.
Nice, solid effort, son.
It's not too bad. That's alright.
Gave you the Danilo one on a
higher or lower.
fucking free transfer there.
Yeah,
Danilo.
I got that one.
What was his actual?
but,
What's his actual value, Andrew? In terms of, what do you think? About $500,000.
Yeah, I mean,
Scored a nice
to be honest, there is a good player in there, but since he had that really bad facial injury at St Johnstone, he's just been sort of on and off the injury table, a bit devoid of confidence.
Yeah.
But I think he's probably our best striker from a technical perspective, but he's just not suited to the Scottish game.
Yeah, fair enough. Sorry, Michael Beale, you are useless. No. Anyway, that's all we have time for today. Thank you, Andrew, for your opinions and insight onto how to avoid messy sick situations. Just use your body as a human shield. I am Matthew, you are Andrew, we are Tinpot. Like, subscribe, comment, give us 5 stars, tell your friends and family, nominate us for an award. Don't know, listener's choice perhaps. We have enough listeners.
Yeah.
Comment, we'll read your comments out. And yeah, I think is Tam back next week? Is he back?
I think so. Yeah.
Hope so, man. This hosting gig's a fucking stress. Like, Jesus,
it's hard going. It's actually pretty tricky.
He does it well.
He does. Yeah.
We don't give him enough credit, like that. He's a good guy. I hope you're having a nice holiday, and if you're listening to this by the beach, Tam, in your little speedo, shout out to you and drinking your.
Yeah. He actually sent us a few pictures of his him and his speedos, didn't he? So a little bit on the tight side.
Yeah. Not what you like to see.
Yeah, hopefully there's no kids about on the beach, but
I think it's a swingers club they're at, so should be having fun.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he did mention there was a nudist beach there as well.
Nice.
So
whap those
so
speedos
he said,
off.
"Oh, thank God, I'll get the circulation back after I get those speedos off." So yeah, no, I hope he's enjoying that sort of dirty holiday away. So
have fun with that, and bring us back some chocolate from the airport. I'd like a giant Toblerone, please. Andrew, what would you like?
Well, yeah, if he's buying it at the airport, then it's probably safe enough, because I think the rest of the time he's not going to have much.
Who knows where he's putting that? But giant Toblerone.
Exactly. Yeah, it's stuffing it down the speedos. But yeah, do you know what? I'll take a big old bag of chocolate M&Ms, please.
Nice.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks.
Let's see if he was listening till the end and he brings us back some delicious chocolate gifts, or if he switched off after the quiz. But yeah, that's it. don't cut this out, Tam. And thank you for listening, everyone. See you next time.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.